Cooper, and today I'm going to be interviewing
Tim.
Tim. Hello, Tim.
G'day, Felix. Thanks for having me.
And so, what made you love tanks?
My parents actually bought me a tank when I was a little kid, about your age. How old are you? 7. Well, I was 6 when I got my first tank. You might be able to see it in the cabinet over there. And so they bought me that tank, and then I always wanted a tank. And it took me till I was, I think I was 35 when I got my first tank.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't stop. Many tanks later, it's just collected and grown and grown. Which one's your favourite?
My favourite was probably that bulldoze and the ruby.
Oh yeah, Ruby's heaps of fun. We just took that for a ride. And the bulldozer's the heaviest tank we've got, 54 tonne.
Wow, that is so heavy.
It is. You probably weigh 20 kilos.
Yeah.
So 54 tonne is 54,000 kilos. Heaps, hey?
Yes, so much.
Cool, what else would you like to know?
And I've got another question, which is, what made you want to start doing tank tours?
You know what? I couldn't afford the fuel bill myself. So I had to actually get other people to pay for it. Because what better job is doing what you love and then having other people pay for the fuel? So I love driving the tanks, not just looking at them. And I found that if I just paid for the fuel all the time myself, I wasn't going to have any money left. So you guys coming in and looking at the tanks and having a ride lets me do what I love and maintain the vehicles as well.
Yeah, cool.
So that was the reason behind it, because I couldn't
Okay.
just keep buying tanks without showing other people and subsidising the cost.
Yeah, I understand. And
Absolutely.
it's a good way.
It is.
And it's fun.
Yeah, but don't tell anyone. Shh. Okay, it's a secret. Because if everyone does it, then I won't have a business.
Yeah, sure. I'll keep it a secret.
Awesome.
And so, what made you want to have all the different tanks?
Well, one's never enough. It's like when you get a bunch of lollies and there's a red one and a green one and you're missing the yellow one and the orange one and you want to have the others to see what they taste like. Well, it's kind of like that with tanks. There's so many different types, and I wanted to know what they all drove and how they felt to drive. So I like unique stuff as well, something that no one else has. This is the only one of these vehicles in Australia. It's called the Super Cat, and it's just fun having variety, having different things. And also with the business, if you had a ride in this one, you might see the others and say, oh, I'd like a ride in that. So I had to be diverse, had to have lots of things on the menu for people to be able to appreciate. But I also like restoring things. So a lot of these tanks have had histories where they haven't been looked after. And so I see something that might be damaged or it mightn't be maintained well, and I sort of want to buy it so that I can, preserve it and maybe give it to my kids when they're older.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Ooh. And now we're going to play a game called Felix's Choice.
Okay.
And how you play is, so I give you two things to choose out of.
Yep.
And you can only have one out of those two things for your whole life.
Whoa, that's pretty intense.
Would it be American tanks or British tanks?
Oh, that's a good question. You know what? I really like Centurion tanks, which are British, so I'm going to go British tanks.
Yeah, I thought so.
Good guess.
Yeah, and would it be this big bridge, or would it be that little ruby?
Well, that's a pretty easy one for me, because the bridge layer is the last one of its kind left in the world that still operates, okay? So it's very rare. While I love Ruby, there's quite a lot of them in Australia, so it'd definitely be the bridge tank. And to be honest, the bridge tank brings in a lot of people who want to see it, so they come in and have a look. And whereas Ruby is kind of cool, but it doesn't bring many customers into me.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And you got to promise me something. If you go viral with this, you've got to tag Tank Ride in it on it, right? So we get lots of people watching.
Yeah.
Perfect. And I'll like you. If you do have a Facebook account, you're not sure? I'm sure you do, or your parents do. So make sure.